Hello, I am Sandra Allen Lovelace, and I am live. I am a trauma conqueror and a consultant and also a coach. And I am struggling today. I mean, really struggling today. I didn't sleep very much at all last night. It might be because I finished my taxes and turned them in yesterday. But anyway, whatever the reason, I don't know. Maybe your Monday is similar, or maybe sometime in your life you've had a Monday like this. And the thing that I find so interesting is how much God revives me when I come to the gym. I missed the gym on Friday last week. I took Tuesday because it was my birthday. And then Friday, I was just so tired and I thought, I'll just, not good. I should learn this. It's not good. I come to the gym and I'm listening to my music. I'm listening to my worship music and I'm working my body, and I have to connect my mind to my body. I'm working on my stretches first, and how many of these, and what about those, and how's my body feeling right now? My lower back was a little stiff from all the sitting down I've been doing lately, and it's nicely stretched out again. And so the mind, body, spirit for 2 hours it kind of revives me. Sounds backwards, doesn't it? But it isn't. As a matter of fact, I wanted to share something with you that I realized today in my workout. That was really all I was going to say, and I was going to go on my way because I have a lot to do today. However, this happened, and I can't hold it to myself. Can't keep it to myself. I had a small medical procedure done last week. I think it was, I don't have my calendar with me anymore. I had it with me last week because it was so busy. I think it was Thursday. That I had the procedure. And it was just a small skin tag that was here inside my armpit, and clothes rubbing on it and all that was irritating me a lot. And I just finally got around to the point of saying, what do you think? Because I saw my dermatologist. I see her once a year. We talked about it last year, and she said, oh yeah, I'll just snip that for you. I was like, no, we're not going to snip anything. No. I'll call you when I'm brave enough. And a whole year went by. Well, anyway, and so I determined, I mentioned it to a friend and asked her to pray. She said, Sandra, that will be less than a 3-second prayer. It's okay. Go ahead. Yes, I would do it myself. Go ahead. Have it done. So I did. Now, and she was right. And it was wonderful. I didn't have any problems. She put a little round Band-Aid on it, no problem. And a couple of days went by. I think the third day, the Band-Aid fell off, and it's fine, a little bit tender. But here's what actually happened. And it's such a great illustration for trauma. Trauma hits, the trauma of too much, too fast, or too little for too long. It's a great illustration. Because what happened, by Friday afternoon, whatever day it was I had that thing done, but by Friday afternoon, I think it might have been Wednesday. It was Wednesday. It was Wednesday. Well, by Friday, I was sore. My knees were so sore, and I couldn't figure out why. It's one of the reasons I didn't go into the gym on Friday. They were just a little sensitive, a little creakier than normal. Well, by Friday, when I went to visit a friend, we have a sort of standing Friday afternoon, let's break the work week and think toward the weekend kind of a visit. And she turned it into a happy birthday party for me. Her and her husband, and a nice card and a fancy dessert, special made just for me. It was wonderful, absolutely wonderful. And all surprise. Anyway, I went and I texted her earlier in the day. I said, shall we start off with a walk today? And she thought that was a good idea. Well, by the time I got there in the afternoon, I was really, really stiff. My knees were so sore. They would barely bend, which wasn't a good idea for me to skip the gym that morning. I thought about it pretty much all day. Oh, I should have gone. I would have been loosened up. Hello and welcome in. Welcome in. Anyway, I got over there. Well, I was the one who said, let's go for a walk. And she was ready to go for a walk. You still up for that? I said, oh, yeah. Oh, sure, yeah. It was probably better to have, again, to be moving is better than sitting still and feeling sorry for myself or licking my wounds or whatever. Just like, yes, to be moving. So I said, sure. So we started down the normal loop that we do, and we got sort of down to where we would kind of start bending back. And there was a big open area that connected with a golf course. And she said, oh, did you want to do a little bit more today? And I thought, yeah, I want to see what's down there, forgetting how my knees were so stiff. But we went down and we saw loads and everything's blooming down here in South Carolina. And went around. It was a cul-de-sac. So we turned around and came back and checked out the trees and some wonderful fragrances that we saw. And it was a wonderful walk. Not sauntering exactly, but not a, pacing kind of a walk. But by the time I got back, I was pretty much miserable in the knees. I was miserable in the knees. And she said, are you okay? You're walking kind of funny. And here's the thing. Here's the connection to trauma. And I said, yeah, I know that I'm walking really funny. It's because my knees are so stiff. So what was going on was they were stiff and sore, and the rest of my body was trying to compensate. If my muscles could just hold my legs back just a little bit, not to bend quite so much, it would alleviate the pain maybe. Or if I walked a little funny, or if I, all the kinds of compensation to adjust for the pain. Same as trauma. The same as trauma, we try to find whatever coping skills we can find to help get us where we're, can alleviate the pain to some degree. Oh man, it wasn't really doing much of a job. I was pretty darn miserable. I can tell you that. And before I left, she gave me some cream. She said, here, you might want to try this. I said, oh, I'll put it on right now. She said, no, you should take it and read it, and all that kind of stuff. I thought that was wisdom. So I said, okay. So I went home and I read it, and it has NSAIDs in it. And I, read about that, and I said, well, no, let me just see, because as I said, I missed going to the gym at least once, and I hadn't done very much. I cut out one earlier in the week too. And I just thought, no, it's okay. I'll take it home and I'll look at it. I said, no, I'm not going to put that on. But I do know, so today is Monday, you see. I had things I needed to get done on Saturday. I could not sit around. I had a list of 4 places to go, and I needed to get gas and some other things. And so I took off, and I had a class in the morning. So at noon, I took off and started doing my little errands, in and out, doing some shopping, moving as best I could, but I was moving. And then that was Saturday, and I began to realize that what could be causing this? I can't believe it. Both knees at the same time. That's really never happened before. One's a little sore, or the other one's a little this or that or something. Why are they both so bad? Gosh. And then I put 2 and 2 together. It was the wound, that little snip. It was funny because I was concerned. I didn't want to be injected with anything. If the dermatologist wanted to rub on a little bit of numbing salve or lotion or something, then that would have been okay. I didn't want anything injected in there because I don't know what would be in it. But that didn't happen. But I had been thinking about that relative to a systemic effect from something that was put into my body. And as God would have it, as Holy Spirit kind of, I was pondering these things, taking them to Jesus. Can you help me? You're the great physician. And I became aware of the wound. It was a physical wound on my body, and a pretty serious one. There was a good dab of blood in the Band-Aid. It didn't leak out, a lot less than when sorry, the call tried to come in and I'm ignoring it. So I'm glad you're here. Anyway, because of the wound of the minor medical procedure, my whole body was reacting to the flood of cortisol, all of the healing stuff that was racing through my body. Now, you don't know me, but God has given me, built into me, Jesus built into me, knowing what was coming on in my life, an incredible immune system. When I have a wound, my body, it starts with the letter K, but I never remember the word. My body always puts up a lot of extra scar tissue. My body heals very quickly. My body healing is one of its high points in my immune system. So I thought Saturday when it dawned on me, when the awareness came, awareness is God's invitation to new life. The kind that only Jesus can give. And I went, that's exactly right. Cortisol and probably other kinds of healing things, but overloaded and running through my whole body from this little bitty wound right here. And it's coursing through. It's like a type of inflammation running through my knees. Unbelievable, I have to tell you. And guess what? Because I was moving all day Saturday, and yesterday was Sunday, I didn't move a lot, but I did get up, get myself ready, get off to church, come home, and I was working on my taxes. I was going up and down the stairs. I'm on 3 floors. So anytime I needed something in my office, God set it up, I had to go up and get it. Oh, I need large paper clips. Go and get it. Come down. Oh, I need that other folder. Go get it. Come down. It's like, oh my word. I'm going to make myself a list today when I go home. A list of the things I know I need to do, and I'll think about it and put them in the proper order for next year, so I don't have to do it the way I did it this year. It was not fun. But that movement, even my little Welltory app, told me I got plenty of movement in yesterday. Today is Monday and my knees are pretty much back to normal. My whole workout, I even I had upped the weight 5 pounds on a couple of the exercises for my knees, and I wasn't sure. I thought, well, let me give it a try because I haven't been on that higher number for very long. And my knees were happy with it. All of 4 of them, all but 1, they were happy. It's shocking to see it. The trauma healing recovery process happening so clearly in my physical body. The aching and the pains calling out, Sandra, adjust. It's painful. Your knees need attention. Your body needs attention. I need attention. And so now here I am. Movement and using the parts that seem the most inflamed, the trickiest ones I've worked on for a while, but I know they're tight spots, so to speak. And it's the same with the trauma journey. It's one of the things to pay attention to as we what I'm calling it, coming around the bend. When we get beyond the stress and survival, the fight or flight, the freeze and fawn, and we're moving on into find and freedom. So we're finding the dynamics, and some of these things I'm recognizing, and I've been sharing it with some of the other women, they're simply old habits. It isn't that I'm necessarily, only I can tell, only you could tell, being triggered by trauma for some of them. Some of them are just old patterns. And they can be changed a lot easier than the trigger ones. And so here I am, movement. Movement is the answer. My body called for attention. I gave it the attention it needed. God coordinated things to give me enough on Sunday when I was other focused. But today I knew I had to be at the gym. Nothing was sore at home. Now I've done 2-hour workout. My knees are a little sensitive, but they're great. And onward we go. All right, now onward you go, and you can help me. Make a comment, like, and share so people know this is valuable and it will get to a wider audience. That's right. That's your call to action. Okay, gotta go. It's Monday and there's a lot to do. God bless.